we are going to do a stretch for our hip flexor. So we're going to get some length into this hip flexor here, and we're going to work really hard in our pelvic position while we do it. So I'm going to pop 3 minutes on the clock. You are going to need a wall behind you and something under your knee if it's uncomfortable like mine is on the ground. So there's a window behind me here. I have my forefoot in contact with the window. My knee is on top of the pillow, and from here I'm going to get into, so the traditional hip flexor stretch, people do this and their pelvis is dumping into this anterior tilt. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on posteriorly tilting our pelvis and then pushing through the foot to get some hip extension. So posterior tilt of your pelvis is like this. We want to tilt the front part forwards or the top part of the back backwards. We want to tip it like that. I'm going to move it like this. So driving my foot in, and I think about my pelvis here, I'm going to tuck my tailbone in underneath me. As soon as you do that, you should feel a stretch in your hip flexor. I'm going to drop my rib cage. Stay up nice and tall as I do this. Okay, ribs are dropped. From there, I'm pushing through my foot, using my foot to drive me forward. When I'm in this position, I'm working really hard to keep that posterior tilt, to keep my rib cage down. I'm moving in and out of this position. It's really important that you keep the ribs down, you keep that posterior tilt or that tailbone tucked in under, and you should get a really strong sense of your hip flexor lengthening versus the traditional stretch where you're just dumped forward into that anterior tilt. So I'm going to hold this end position, driving my foot in, reaching my fingertips forward and exhaling. As I exhale, I'm thinking about curling my pelvis underneath me. Okay, and we're going to swap sides. So, foot gets the pain. I'm in tall kneeling position. First thing I'm going to do is drive the foot in and get that posterior tilt. So I'm tucking my tailbone underneath me. Straight away feel that stretch. Reaching fingertips forward, drop the rib cage. That makes the stretch even bigger when you do that. From there then, keeping my ribs down, I'm going to press my foot into the door to get my hip to move forwards and then backwards. Working really hard to keep that posterior tilt or that tailbone tucked in under. Pushing, using the foot, the back foot to drive me forward. You'll probably get a bit of glute when you do this. Keep the pelvis tucked, and we're going to hold last couple of seconds. That's it. 3 minutes done and dusted. Get some length into your hip flexors for today. See you all tomorrow. Cheers.